What's up, y'all? I'm back out here at the range early this morning on what's supposed to be a cloudy, soggy day. It's been raining on and off for about the last 2 or 3 days, so it's soaking wet out here. Supposed to be pretty much totally cloudy all day, which I hope is the case because it is a swamp out here, and if that sun comes out, y'all know it's gonna be nasty. So I'm gonna get a move on this morning and try to get done before that happens out here. I've got some pretty interesting stuff planned for today, and we're gonna start it out with a little 327 Magnum versus some 9mm. So we got the jelly contraption ready to go this morning with 2 chronos and 2 fresh blocks of gel. First test of the day, so you get a nice clear picture of what happens here. Of course, I'm using my heavy clothing barrier up front with the layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt. And what we got for this one is some 327 Magnum that I wanted to test. As you can see, we got the Hornady critical defense. I had to pick some other stuff up, and I saw this, you know, once I have to pick some stuff up, I kind of do some browsing and try to get a few things that I haven't tested. And sure enough, I hadn't tested this yet. Hopefully this should be some good stuff. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this does. 327 Federal Mag, 80 grain FTX projectile. Now they're saying 1,475 feet per second at the muzzle, but that is gotten out of a 5-inch barrel according to their site. So most likely we're not going to see that here today. Here's a look at your cartridge. This one's actually still got the nice nickel plating on it with that FTX projectile with the insert there. And since I've only got one tool chambered in 327 mag at the moment, I figured I'd put it up against something that I felt might be pretty close in performance. So I figured I'd go with this 9mm. 9mm critical defense. Now obviously this is heavier, 115 grain FTX. Velocity on this is saying 1135, so slower but heavier. Now if we were to meet both of these, we would outperform it as far as energy with the 327. But again, this one, the 9, they're saying is from a 4-inch barrel. So again, I don't expect to see that here. Here's a quick look at the 9. This one is not nickel plated, so just brass case there. 115 grain FTX projectile with that insert. And what we testing these things out of for the 327 mag, I've got the Taurus 327 here with the 2-inch barrel. And then for the 9, I'm gonna use my Canik Mete MC9. Now this has got a 3.1-inch barrel, but y'all know the different ways that revolver and semis are measured. So for all intents and purposes, these are pretty close as far as effective barrel length, if you want to call it that. So this should be pretty interesting. I'm expecting some fairly close results out of these just because of what we're running them out of and the different weights and all. But let's get this stuff set up and see what happens. All right, let's see what kind of numbers we're working with. I'm gonna do a 5-round average from each one. We're gonna start with the 327 first. Now you will see multiple readings from this radar. The large numbers right here at the muzzle, and then you've got 5 across the bottom. The first one there is set for 3 yards, which is roughly where the gel is here at 10 feet. And then the others are set for 10, 15, 25, and 50 yards. Now remember, the box on this is saying 1475, but that was out of a 5-inch barrel, so we ain't gonna see that here. Hopefully we get pretty decently close to it anyway. It don't feel strong. 1364, ain't bad though. 1321, 1331, 1373, and 1348, so definitely not the 1475, but I didn't expect it. Let's check out the average. All right, our 5-round average right there was 1,347 feet per second, so you're talking what, 125, 130 short of what the box is saying from a 5-inch barrel, which makes perfect sense being from a 2-inch barrel right here. Extreme spread was 52 with a 21.9 standard deviation, so a little bit of a spread there for whatever reason. 1347 with an 80 grain projectile. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt that's going to perform well in the gel. Let's get this stuff set up and see what the 9mm does. All right, let's see what this 9mm does. It's got its work cut out for sure. I think I might have been a little too optimistic on this 9 performance equaling that 327. We're going to need every bit of that 1135 to get the same energy. So hopefully we're close to it, but I think we're going to be a little short right here. 1,086, yeah, we're pretty short. 1,099, 1,081. That was another 1,081. and 1,096. So definitely seemed a little more consistent right here, but not up to speed. Let's check out the average. All right, so our 5-round average from this 9 mil was 1,089 feet per second, which does make sense. Again, if they're saying out of a 4-inch, that's probably about right where we should have expected it. Extreme spread of 18 with an 8.2 standard deviation, so definitely better consistency out of this semi with the 9. 1,089 here, and if you remember on the 327, it was 1,347, so you talking about what, 258 feet per second faster with that 327. Now granted, it's a lot lighter projectile, but that does give it the energy edge by a decent little amount if I'm doing my math right. All that being said, I'm about positive the 327 is going to do a good job. This critical defense, it's probably going to do so-so with that insert left in it. It's probably not going to get big expansion, but decent penetration. Let's get this stuff set up. Y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's wheels and slides jelly time. I'm gonna put one from each into the gel, starting with the 327 mag. This one should do pretty good just based on that good velocity we saw. All right, that one's absolutely perfect. Let me go see what I got. All right, that's some good looking stuff right there, y'all. So that gives me pretty decent hope with this 9, although in the past we've seen it not really expand that much. So let's see what it does for us today. All right, that should be another good one. Let's go down there and check out what we got. All right, let's take a look at what we got down here. I don't think we're gonna find much to complain about with either one of these right here. It looks like some really nice performance. Up here on the top, that was the 327 mag. As you can see, it comes in here, very nice energy transfer and disruption. Keeps on trucking through this gel, leaving a nice trail behind it. Goes probably 3/4 of the way through here, and looks like we've got some nice expansion on it. And I guess I forgot to mention, you're probably seeing some tracks behind it, even though this is the first test of the day. I'm trying a little something different here. I don't know how it's going to work out. I'm trying to be a little more efficient with my time at the range and do these tests at 2 different locations, but we'll see how it works. So some of what y'all going to be seeing in the background may be some tests for later in the day. But anyway, down here on the bottom, that one is the 9 mil. Once again, very nice looking energy transfer here. Again, it keeps on trucking all the way through this block. Very nice disruption. This one goes probably a good 2-3 inches further than that 327, and once again, it looks like we got some pretty nice expansion. But let's see how far they both went. The 327 on the top, that one is at 11.5 inches, so a little bit short for what I want, but it does have some nice energy for that little round. And then down on the bottom, out of the 9 mil, we got 13.5 inches, so that's probably about perfect for most people's preference. And then here's your close look at them. Again, the top's 327, bottom 9 mil. Really nice performance from both of these. You put these in the right spot and they are definitely going to get the job done. You can see following on through, very nice expansion. Looks like they both kind of lost the insert in the same way there too, so that's pretty interesting to see. And then here you go from the top. We're working with a bunch of glare here, so not the best to look at, but that's some nice disruption right there from that 327 mag on the top. Neither one of them bad, but that one definitely sticks out as being nice. There's your projectile there and the 9 mil there. All right, let's take a look at these projectiles. Once again, really nice looking stuff right here. This is the 327 and this is the 9 mil. Now, obviously the 327 smaller because it started smaller, so no way it was gonna grow bigger. I mean, the expanded size could have been, but doesn't seem to be the case here. You can see there, 327 and 9 mil. That being said, I mean, very nice from both of these. And this 327, buddy, it got all the expansion. You can see right there, it didn't leave anything on the table. So really nice looking stuff from both of these rounds. Well, let's get these numbers and see what we got. We'll start with this 327 here. Now this one started at 80 and it's actually at 80.0 grains, so absolutely nothing lost right there. And then if we do the 9 mil here, it started at 115 and it's at 114.8, so I would say that's probably manufacturing tolerances, maybe a crumb or two, but virtually no loss. And then as far as the sizes, we know we're gonna see a difference here. So 327, you got 475 and 472, so really nice symmetrical expansion right there. And then on the 9 mil, we got 500 and 495, so definitely a little bit more right there because it started bigger, but both of those again I think did a fantastic job. So there you go, y'all, the Hornady Critical Defense 327 Magnum versus 9 mil. I know kind of an odd matchup right here, but I figured they would be pretty close in performance. They weren't that far off, but obviously the 327 Mag takes the edge as far as energy. Now performance in the gel, some may argue that this 9 mil is a little better just because of the penetration. That's probably negligible. You know, you may see a little more from the 327, a little less than the 9, but it's probably going to be right there within an inch or two of each other either way. So as far as having to pick a winner here, I mean, that would be a tough call. It's probably going to come down to what kind of carry guy you are as far as a revolver or a semi here. So me being a semi guy, I would take the 9, but this 327 Mag is definitely a potent little carry round. All right, y'all, I think we got us a double dose of some pretty good performance to start the day with this one. I don't think most folks out there would have any kind of complaint with either one of these rounds right here. I think both of them would do a fantastic job as an EDC round. Now, y'all know how I am. I want bigger, better, stronger, faster, all that stuff, so on and so forth. But these right here would definitely get the job done if you do your job. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Those of y'all who carry 9 or 327 Mag, what do you think about these rounds right here? Do you carry one of these rounds? If you had to choose a winner right here, which one would it be? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. A quick reminder as always, if you're doing any kind of shopping, check out those affiliate links I've got in the video description. Lots of really good stuff down there, and anything you pick up helps the channel, so I really do appreciate that. Big thanks to all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all for supporting the channel. I've got a couple more really good tests on the way, so make sure you stay on the lookout for those. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.